Yeah. Your team sucks. Live. Motherfucker. Happy COVID. Happy COVID. Big Gorilla George, what's up?
What's going on, man? My team sucks the most. I'm aware of it.
Yo, George.
My team is in last place in the worst division in the history of football.
I heard, George, that the Denver Broncos made the call to you, bro, to play quarterback. I heard that they made that call, and that you contemplated, you thought about it for a little bit, but you don't want to embarrass the other team. You don't want.
They told me I had to actually be on the roster to get on the field this week, so there was a little bit of a problem. I wasn't on the roster.
Man, come on, George. You could have. I mean, you could have probably played as well as that guy did. That it was like a stand-in. I felt bad for that guy.
1 for 9, 2 interceptions.
That was sad. That was so screwed up. I don't know how the league can even do that to a team. It's bullshit. But the Ravens keep skipping on. Now they're not playing till Wednesday. So how do the Ravens get a bye? Don't have to worry about it, but Denver has to play.
Yeah, before we jump in, I just got to talk real quick, George. Me and George basically grew up together. We were kids in Los Angeles, and we were metalheads. And I was telling George, I'm back into metal, bro. I don't know what happened this week. But it's like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest and Terra. I think I'm angry. I think the pandemic has finally made me crazy. You just said you were pumping rage all week. What's up, man? What's up?
I'm telling you, I'm feeling the same bug. Like I need some just energy pumping through me. This COVID virus sitting at home doing nothing. I need that metal, I think, to just get me started again.
No, it's true, bro. I mean, it brings you up, it gives you energy, and the shit's just nuts. It's therapeutic. And normally we do our recap here, right? This is a recap. I believe it was week 12, but the week's not over yet. Because of COVID, I'm almost getting my wish to have football every day. Almost. I mean, what's over to have a football game every day of the week now? There's the Ravens, Steelers have been moved to tomorrow. I think it's
3:30 Eastern. Who came up with that fucking time? How does that make sense?
You're going to have to skip all your soap operas, all your novellas.
No, I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why they're playing at 3:30. I'm going to scoop it to you. They're playing at 3:30 because they didn't want to go against the lighting of the tree in New York.
Yeah, the lighting of the tree in New York was they spent a lot of money on promoting that, and so I mean,
it trumped the football game.
I'm pretty sure Jordan's upset that he's not going to get to see, that you can't do simultaneous, like go back and forth between the lighting of the tree and the football game. I'm sorry, Jordan.
Hey, I got picture in picture. So, yeah, they ruined that.
I have to say, you look like an elf who ate way too much and took steroids. You kind of do look like that a little bit.
Hey, at least I got steroids. That's good.
There you go. That's right. You look like an elf who, ran through some kind of chemical factory, and now you're a superhuman Jordan elf. You used to be like 6'2" with a 2-inch penis, and now you're 6'4" with a 2-inch penis.
Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember Captain Caveman? He looks like Captain Caveman of the Saturday morning cartoons. Captain Caveman.
I'm sorry.
And the Teen Angel.
Captain Caveman. That's your new nickname.
Captain Caveman.
Yeah, that's definitely old Saturday morning cartoons.
Caveman, guys.
Teen Angel. That was a long time ago. Anyway, this is a football show. We digress. We're delirious. Me and George have been listening to metal all week. And,
the Cowboys ruined my Thanksgiving. The Cowboys ruined my Thanksgiving with some crazy bullshit play calling going on. Well, I mean, who calls a reverse 1st and goal from the 3-yard line? You call a double reverse.
Wow.
1st and goal. Come on, who does that?
Yeah.
Where do you think the defense is running to? Like, there's only 15 yards to be. What the hell did they think was going to happen there?
The comments are open, ladies and gentlemen. Cowboy fans, come on in. I mean, the Cowboys took a gigantic shit on the Thanksgiving turkey. I mean, I was kind of rooting for him. I'm here in Dallas. I'm like, okay, maybe it'll be some positive vibes, and they just blew it, man. I'm sorry, Cowboy fans.
Well, Zeke comes out at halftime and he puts the ball on the ground, and then they make a great play in the third. They get the ball back, they run it down to the 3-yard line, and they run a double reverse 1st and goal from the 3 to CeeDee Lamb. What the hell are they thinking there? Like that would even. Where do you come up with that play? And then what do? Fake punt. Let's do a fake punt. We're down by 4. A fake punt from our own 25-yard line. Are you joking?
Yeah, that was awful. Awful.
How desperate can you be?
Literally, how desperate can you be?
That's not even desperate as much as it is just stupid. It's like, it's crazy. You're not going to win football games.
At that point, it was a 4-point game. Dallas was still in the game. The game was still winnable. And he just decides, we're going to fake punt from the 31-yard line.
It's okay, bro. You know why? The Dallas Cowboys play in the NFC East. They're still in it. They can still win it.
Unfortunately, they're only one game out.
Yeah. So they're one game out of first place. Right, Cowboy fans? So my first question for the recap of last week, the Giants won their game. Obviously, they beat the Bengals without Joe Burrow. Are the Giants the team to beat in that weak-ass division? I mean, are the Giants going to win it or what? Jordan, what do you think?
I felt a lot better. I mean, I love how their defense is coming along. I think everybody's buying into that system, which I like. I like what the coach did early, kicking Golden Tate out, firing, the linebackers coach. Anybody who didn't buy into his system while they were losing, he gets rid of. Reminds me a little bit of Brian Flores when they were losing bad last year. So I think people are buying in, but the Danny Dimes injury really hurt them. I mean, that kid, sure, you can call him a turnover machine. He's had a lot of turnovers in his own right, but he's good and he's fast and he's definitely their quarterback. And we'll see if they can keep winning without him.
He's okay, but I think the team to beat is Washington with that young defense. That first round pick kid is ridiculous. Washington Redskins are scary. That defense is really tough.
One of our Facebook users agrees with you, George. Washington is the team to beat, in my opinion. I agree with that. Their front 7 is legit. And if you look at that entire division, really their defense is probably by far better than anybody else's defense in that division. All the offenses in that division are complete crap.
They might have the rookie of the year. They might have the rookie of the year right now. That little running back killing it.
Kid's good. He's good, and I like me some Scary Terry too. Best second-year wide receiver right now. He can take over games, and it's good to see Alex Smith back. I don't care who you are. It's good to see Alex Smith in there.
But my question is, how did Carson Wentz, and George called this in the beginning of the season, I got to give him props. How did Carson Wentz go from MVP to complete crap? And a lot of people are saying it's the offensive line, but I don't think his offensive line was incredible the year that he was an MVP. He just ran around a lot and they got hurt because he was, he was diving and running as much as he could to bail himself out. He's not doing that anymore. He's standing in the pocket, doesn't have a ton of time, but he's really bad right now. George, I mean, is this really Carson Wentz? Or is he just have a bad offensive line?
I thought it was time to bring in Jalen Hurts early. I was already saying it a long time ago. They should have brought the kid in. Wentz is the kind of quarterback that out of like 40 passes, he'll have like 2 or 3 good ones, and the rest are just horrible. He'll make 1 or 2 good passes, and everyone starts to praise him, but they forget about the 15 or 20 just dinkers that he can't do. So he just underperforms on a daily basis. I think they got to switch to the youngster and move on from Wentz. I know it's a lot of money they're going to basically just saying goodbye to, but that's the way of the future now. I don't think Wentz is your future in Philly.
Yeah, Zach Lane says Eagles could have won. Zach Lane saying Eagles could have won that game if they had better quarterback play, and he's a Giants fan. So I mean, I watched the game too. I think that Zach's making a valid point there, and I don't know, man. I think Wentz may be done. I mean, you bring in the other kid, and I don't know, man. We'll see.
I think the coach is afraid to do the same thing in Chicago where you sit Wentz and then you bring in the youngster and you can't go back, kind of like what they did with Trubisky and Foles. But we'll see what happens. I think they're going to go to – I think you'll see the rookie play this next week or so.
Right. Let's talk about the Oakland Raiders, George's B team. Right, George's designated team for the year. because the Cowboys aren't going to do anything, even though they're not technically out of it. But
rough times for George, yes.
What happened to the Raiders, bro? They got rolled. I mean, they played terrible, and this is kind of typical of a John Gruden team. Is like 1 week they look incredible, and they go toe to toe with the best, and then all of a sudden they look like crap. I mean, what happened there, Jordan?
I think it was just a big letdown spot for them. I mean, everyone said the same thing. They were Raiders were top 5 in everybody's power rankings, and then they just go out there and lay an egg to Atlanta. And it just happened. They were losing early, and they just kept going. It just the momentum kept going, and they didn't even look like they're getting back on track.
I agree. I will say one thing in their defense, and though Atlanta isn't terrible like they were at the beginning of the year. This new coach is playing for his job. He has the team buying in. The defense looks better. I wouldn't want to play Atlanta right now. I think they're going to shock some people. They're going to take some playoff teams out.
It's not that they lost the game; it's how they lost it, and that's right. The point. Is that Atlanta's can be a respectable team. Atlanta has enough talent, Matt Ryan, and there's some great talent on that team.
Yeah,
they can play with anybody, really. They should go Tony, but they blew them out.
Well, the Raiders got down and they just quit. They got down and quit. They just continued to quit, and the coach is to blame for that. And he's the rah-rah in their face. He should be all over them because they quit on them last week, and it sucks because they were really rolling. They're what are they? 1-4 straight.
Yeah,
they were making a difference.
The Raiders aren't a play from behind team, though. They're a run the ball. They're very physical. Derek Carr isn't the type who comes out there. We're down by 2 scores, 3 scores, and I'm going to get you back in this.
I think this year he's proved a little different. He's throwing the ball downfield. Aguilar's stretched it out. The rookie's also stretching out the offense. He's hitting deep passes now that he wasn't hitting before. I think that, they just kind of laid back, and then once they started losing, they just kind of gave up, which is not a good sign for future playoff games or anything like that. They just didn't show the heart that I wanted to see.
I disagree with you, Jordan. They went toe to toe with the Chiefs. You don't go toe to toe with the Chiefs without being able to score points and without being able to play from behind. I mean, the Chiefs are the best team in the NFL. There's no doubt about that. The Raiders beat them.
Agreed, but they went up against the Chiefs and almost gave it back. It's kind of exactly what I'm saying. If they get up on somebody, they do well, and they almost gave it back to them. If they get down a few scores, I don't like their ability to jump back into games. It tends to steamroll more often than it goes the other way. Who have they come back against this season?
Well, the Chiefs. I mean, that was fourth, right? And so I don't know. I can't see a Super Bowl.
Did you guys feel the same way as soon as he got the ball back with like a minute 40 the Chiefs were going to win? I mean, I'm a Raiders fan. When he got the ball with like a minute 40, I'm like, fuck, he's going to just go right down the field.
It's over. I mean, if you I mean, there's no defense that I can see right now in the NFL that's going to stop him. The only team, and we're going to talk about this too, is the Tennessee Titans are still a very interesting team because they can run the ball and their defense is playing much, much better now, which is a dangerous combination, even for a team like the Chiefs, that if they could beat the Chiefs up and keep Mahomes on the sideline, they could win. They could beat the Chiefs by a field goal. And they were my Super Bowl pick. They rolled a division rival, and they rolled the Indianapolis Colts, and the Colts are a good team, and that's what that team is capable of. They're a very interesting team, and if they get hot here in December, don't take your eyes off of the Tennessee Titans. If they get rolling, that team could be in the Super Bowl. What do you think, George?
No, definitely. I mean, that running back is just unstoppable. It looks, it reminds me of the Pee Wee games when you watch the Pee Wee games and there's that big kid that's just running through everybody on defense. That's what it looks like out there. He's like a man amongst boys. He's just throwing around the defense. It's scary. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, I really think I was really – that game surprised me. That was one of my big surprises. That was one of the games that was much closer. I thought that game, was probably going to be won by the Colts, and then they won by the Colts, and then they that's what
I agree.
And so, they went deep last year. Let's compare them to the Ravens. compare them to the Ravens. Compared to what the Ravens have done this year. The Ravens have done this year. The Ravens have done. If the Ravens lose again tomorrow, Wednesday, they're out of the playoff play. In fact, I don't even think they're in the playoffs right now.
Right now, they're out of the playoff picture. They're in the hunt.
Right. They're in
so,
the
yeah, and people were talking about them going 16-0.
Right. The Miami Dolphins are literally ahead of the Ravens right now. Nobody would have guessed that in the beginning of the season.
No.
And speaking of the ex-Dolphins coach, Adam Gase, how does Adam Gase still have a job? And Matt Patricia finally gets fired. Hallelujah. I mean, the massively underachieving coach. How does Adam Gase have a job? How does Adam Gase still have a job in New York?
I think Adam Gase is doing what the owner wants him to do. They're losing. They're tanking, and I think that's what they want right now.
Like they're tanking though. They're trying. They're trying to see what they have.
The players are always going to try. The players are always going to try, but they're not going to give them anything to try with.
Yeah, Sam Darnold, cured with quarterback. Ladies and gentlemen, newsflash. That I believe that coach, quarterback combination is a quarterback. He's back. And Adam Gase is a terrible head coach. And so I don't know what they're waiting for. What are they waiting for? Maybe they're keeping Gase on, to George's point, so they get the first pick in the draft, maybe. But what the hell are the Jets waiting for? Any clue? Anybody have any clue?
They're fine losing.
Lawrence. Look at Atlanta. They fired their coach midseason, and they went from looking at a first or second pick in the draft to, they're going to win some games now. It's a spark, and they don't want the spark now. They want the spark before next season. I guarantee you Gase will not be there next year. But why fire him at this point? Why? What's the point?
That means he's got some kind of dirt or something on the ownership there. There is no way he keeps his job. And, Gase and one of our Facebook users saying that Gase and Zach Taylor have awesome agents. That's true. Gase has an awesome agent. His name is Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning's got 2 jobs, and it's terrible. It's and I'm not a Jet fan at all, Dolphin fan, but, it's terrible. Real quick take on the Dolphins. Watching that game, and I am a Dolphin fan. So all you Dolphin fans, don't get mad at me for saying this. The Dolphins have massively overachieved this year. But after watching that game again, the Dolphins are heavily reliant on that defense. And, to go far or even make the playoffs, I'm not sure it's going to happen. And the thing is, as a Dolphin fan, I'm not going to be disappointed. I'm going to be actually happy because, wow, what a great they're way ahead of where they should be as an organization and a franchise.
If the Dolphins get to the playoffs this year, that's going to the Super Bowl, I would say. They weren't expected to get anywhere even close.
No, it is. But
the over was 5.5 games at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
They're much too reliant on their defense in games, and they're going to run into a run coming up.
Lost you.
Yeah, cut out.
I think you're freezing up with your crappy bandwidth in Texas. But Miami reminds me a lot of the Bears, where they didn't have a great offense, but they got the offense got it done. And I think that's what they're going to do with Tua, just kind of get it done and hope the defense can keep them in games. They've been scoring, they're getting a turnover every game and put points up every game. So,
their special teams will be great too.
Yeah, it's hard to rely on the defense, but their defense is definitely sticking it out there right now for them.
Yeah, I missed all that when I was frozen up. I'd like to come right now and say AT&T will never be a sponsor of this show, I'm sure. AT&T has been a challenge, seems like, over the holidays here. So, but yeah, listen. Dolphin fans don't get too excited. I'm in these Dolphin fan groups and I'm watching these. It's like the highs and lows are crazy. Relax.
I think they should be excited. There's something to be excited about right now in Miami. they're not going to win shit this year. But
not enough offense.
You got some real talent, and you got a team to follow for a couple of years to come.
They're halfway through a rebuild. Halfway through. People are getting scheduled. They're going to go this year. They're not.
If they would have had all their starters, and you say this about any team, right? If they would have had all their starters, Gaskin, all the offensive line starters, and you would have had their slot receiver who opted out for COVID. What's his name, Jordan?
Isaiah.
Not Ford.
Ford.
Kid from the Kansas City.
Wilson.
Yeah. And so if they have that, then I think that they're probably maybe a contender, but they don't. Fitzpatrick is just – I mean, you love him and you hate him, and he's just too inconsistent. And all he's really got is Devontae Parker. That's really all he has. And
Jakeem Grant's been a bright spot.
Jakeem Grant is a great returner, and he's good every once. But he's so damn small you can't see him. I mean, they have a hard time.
Tyreek Hill at Texas Tech with Mahomes. If Jakeem Grant was on Kansas City, he would be putting up Tyreek Hill numbers, and that's the best receiver in the league because Mahomes didn't Tech with him.
Tyreek Hill's like 2 feet taller than Jakeem Grant, and he's only 5'10".
No, they're like the same size. They're both like 5'8".
I'm literally watching the quarterbacks drop back. And Jakeem, I don't even see how they can see him. I mean, it's crazy. But no, he's fast and he's got good hands, but he's just, okay, Preston Williams. If Preston Williams is still there, the Dolphin offense is a different offense, right? It's a big target, throw the ball up, doesn't have to be open. But, Jakeem Grant's got to be open. It's like you're not throwing Jakeem Grant 50 balls, right?
No, you can't. But I will say the Dolphins are top 5 in the NFL for least injuries. They haven't taken all these massive injuries. Most people, they were number 1 for a while a couple weeks ago before, their running backs took a hit.
Yeah, but they're on their eighth string running back at this point, and their running game is terrible.
Line has remained intact. I mean, compare it to some of the teams that have really lost people. I mean,
it's been a crazy year. Yeah. So I mean, but listen, I'm just saying.
The team with the least injuries is actually the Rams, interestingly enough.
Yeah, so here's my next question. Here's the mystery. Who is the best team in the NFC West? Every week, it seems to change. I mean, the Niners come in, and they beat the Rams. Now, it's a division game. I get that. But still, if the Rams are going to be the shit and be the team, you can't let the Niners beat you in a division game. And so every time I start to go, the Rams are this, the Jared Goff throws an interception. Well, this team is not a Super Bowl contender. And I thought they were, but I don't think Jared Goff is necessarily a Super Bowl quarterback. That defense is really good, but Goff, you put any kind of pressure in his face, and the guy just throws INTs all over the place, right? And I'm not sure. I have to say Seattle is going to win that division. Seattle's still the best team in that division. Seattle has turned it around. They started to run the ball. Their defense all of a sudden looks much better. Pete Carroll, because they've played together a lot longer. No, Pete, it's because you're running the ball, right? And you're not throwing the ball 40 times a game.
Chris Carson's coming back. They realized they had to slow down the defense had to slow down and give the offense a little time to rest. So I think that what they're doing is smart. They're slowing down the game. They're letting Russ cook. They're letting him cook without having to be on the field all the damn time.
And DK Metcalf is an absolute stud. The fact that he was the 8th wide receiver taken in that draft is pathetic.
Well, he has no hands.
Neck injury, yeah.
He has no hands at all. The guy cannot catch anything. He has no hands. Even last week, he missed a ball that almost hit him in the face. The guy he's gifted. He's an incredible athlete, but he has no hands.
Well, yeah, but somebody that big and that strong, I mean, he is huge and he's fast and he is Megatron. Megatron had better hands, though.
Megatron without hands.
So I think Seattle is the best team in that division for sure. I think they went through, they had to that's why they got a great coach, man. Great coach, great quarterback. They started losing. They made the necessary adjustments. Now they're winning again, and they're winning in a way that could win them a championship now. There's no way you could do all that gunslinger shit that they were doing, throwing it 40 times a game. You're not going to win a championship that way. And so I like Seattle to go deep. But with that said, my next question is, who is the best team in the NFC right now? Because Seattle's making an argument to really move back up, right? George, who is the best team in the NFC?
Right now, I'd probably say Seattle.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean
really?
the Saints kind of scared me with the quarterback there. He's not really a quarterback. He's just running the ball. It's like a wildcat. I don't know. I'm not really sold with him back there.
Lamar Jackson type, but I think when Drew Brees gets back healthy, and from what I hear, he will by playoffs.
He's not coming back. He had a punctured. He had 12 ribs separate or fractured and a punctured lung. Like
he might be back for the playoffs.
I think he comes back from the playoffs, and I think that the ability to use Breeze and Tyson Hill, both of them, and you'll see a lot more of these gadget plays. It's going to be interesting, and I like the Saints coaching. I'm a much bigger believer in Arizona than you guys are to win that division, but yeah, I think it's still Seattle.
Yeah, one of our Facebook listeners saying that Carlos Dunlap actually really helped out their defense a lot. I'm sure he did.
Yes.
But
really did.
Running the ball helped them a lot.
Well, they
didn't have any pass rush before.
Jordan and the car.
Did he freeze up again?
Yeah, we lost him again.
Bills, and they got beat by the Patriots. Oh, they almost got swept. All that's missing now is the damn Jets. They got almost swept by the AFC East, and you cannot crown them. I'm sorry, they're not ready.
Crowning them. I'm saying I believe in them more than you do. I think they could get it right and do things in the playoffs. But it's still Seattle, obviously. I also have not sold out on the Bucs yet and them getting it together. They lost by 3 points to Kansas City. They have a good defense. They have a lot of weapons.
They lost by 3 because the Kansas City Chiefs called off the dogs. The guy Tariq Hill put up 200 points in the first, or 200 yards in the first quarter. They're like, yeah, enough. We felt bad for Tampa. You know, it was the score was 3 points, but it was a blowout.
Yeah, I think there's I think what you have in Tampa Bay, Jordan, is simple. Is you have a bunch of talent, but you have some dysfunction there. It's like every week you're hearing like, well, we throw the ball downfield too much. Well,
yes, agreed.
A whole bunch of dysfunction.
It's too much dysfunction. Championships teams, you don't hear that kind of freaking. When have you ever heard that from the Patriots? Oh, well, that's that. Oh, well, it's this. Oh, it's my offense.
To your point, they don't seem like they're on the same page. You know, they're all kind of doing their own thing, and it's not really team. They just threw a bunch of stars together and said, "Here, win."
And the times we've seen that before, I remember when the Eagles put together the dream team, and everybody's like, "It's over, Super Bowl." And every time you hear that, and every time a team wins the offseason, they never do well. The Browns did the same thing a couple of years ago.
Team wins football. It's
chemistry.
In the NFL, coach is 11 on you. That's how you win in the NFL. It's one player. And I remember the greatest example I could ever remember of trying to put a bunch of free agents together. They were all stars. Was the last year of Don Shula's coaching career at Miami, and they had gone 10-6 the year before, and Shula knew he was, pretty much done. They took one last gasp at it, and they got all these big free agents, and they came in. Well, they went 9-7 that year. They didn't make the playoffs and lost in the first round, and Don Shula retired. You don't win by just putting a bunch of stars together. You win.
It's not basketball. You can't win it in the offseason.
You can't. You can. In basketball, you absolutely can. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. You get top 3 stars on your team, and you can win. Absolutely.
Yeah, you win it in the offseason. Football's
yeah, it kind of sucks that these guys are just lobbying each other to, hey, come play over here and win a championship. And but anyway, I prefer the NFL. What can I say?
So do I. Still a lot to be said about basketball free agency. It's interesting.
This year is the craziest I've ever seen. The movement is unbelievable. You're going to look at teams and be like, when the hell did he get on that team? You're going to see so many faces that you've never seen, different uniforms. It's going to be an odd year. I think in the beginning of the season, you're going to see the pros, like the professionals, like LeBron holding out for a couple weeks just to get some more rest. I don't see everybody coming back to December 23rd to play.
Yeah.
No.
It's going to be.
And now football, we're losing dozens of games a week now in college football. So this not looking good. I don't know how they're going to get through the bowls and do all this stuff. Ohio State still might not get enough games. The COVID thing is really taking its toll right now, and the leagues are going to start feeling it. The NFL is going to have to do something else. I feel that they're going to start pushing games, and we're going to see an extended Super Bowl. This is my prediction, that they're going to push the Super Bowl back 1 week.
Possible.
I can see it. There was that rumor about them renting the stuff to have the ability to push it back. So we haven't picked the game for tomorrow night yet. I'm a little excited about it.
Oh, yeah, let's pick that game, and then I want to remind everybody, all of our lines are brought to us by UWager, and we pick against the number every Thursday at 4:00 Central Standard Time. Don't miss that show. Come check it out. A lot of fun. George's been doing this a long time. He's pretty good at it. Jordan sucked pretty bad, but what can I say? And I'm great. So,
I've been doing great, but my last week was horrible. The Rams killed me. The Raiders killed me. I took some bad beats last week. The Colts, I had some bad beats.
At least you admit it. So, yeah, all good. All right. Anything else for today, Mr. Jordan?
No, I like the Steelers though.
Yeah, I like the Steelers. I like the Steelers to bury the Ravens by more than 10.
It's an easy pick. It's the Steelers. I mean,
there's no Lamar Jackson. There's 10 guys not going to be playing suited up. I think it's going to be a burial.
I've seen a lot of action on the Ravens. Even the Ravens money line, I'm seeing action on.
Yeah, this is probably the end of the year for the Ravens. I would guess they're going to lose. I think they'll win a couple games on out, but it's probably the best thing that could have happened to Lamar Jackson is what's happening this year. Is he's going to be humble. He's going to go back to work. And next year, I like him next year. But we'll see. I mean, the year's ways to go.
I said this last year that I was pretty sure I was going to like Lamar Jackson a lot more as hey, I got picked way too late. I have a chip on my shoulder out working everybody in the offseason than MVP Lamar Jackson thinking he's all that. And we saw it.
The NFL is not a video game, Jordan. Just remember that. Remember, it's real people actually playing.
I don't know. Tariq Hill looks kind of like a video game, that little bastard running all over the field.
All right, that's going to do it. Like, share, all that. Thanks for all the comments. We're very happy with our show. We get lots and lots of views. We appreciate all the support. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.